O'clock. This meeting.
Thank you for letting me know that's our goal, that we're live.
We are live. All right, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of the Midnight Farmers podcast. This is our special Veterans Day show. We have two special guests that are coming on the show tonight, so you're not going to want to miss that. I'm sorry, I'm reading from a script right now because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to say. First, we're going to do a little rundown of our podcast goals. I am Danny from Victory Garden Survival, and this is Farmer Froberg, who has tons of education in agriculture. This is Salty Beardo, who has had a farm for about 3 years now. He's not a complete pro, but he is definitely relating to you guys when it comes to being a new farmer, which is a good thing because we need relatable people and content on this podcast. Let's see. We all met on TikTok. We all met on the TikTok platform.
Yep.
And we made very fast friends, in case you guys were wondering.
Hopefully we'll meet in person one day.
Yes, we're definitely going to meet in person one day. It's going to happen. There's no doubt about it.
Let's get into our future goals. You're jumping ahead there, Froggy.
Sorry.
I think that's the first time you called him Froggy. It's going to catch on.
You know, it just wears well.
It does. It's just so much. It rolls off the tongue.
If you're watching right now, I do have, if you've ever been on my lives, you'll know him. It's Paul, our farmhand. So he's here just hanging out. We had a late night event on the farm.
Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we decided to create this podcast to tell the world that it is important to be paying attention to the food supply issues. It is important to be growing food right now. And some of those reasons are just, you know, the food supply is kind of not okay right now. And a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. So we want to make sure that you guys are paying attention to it. And we want to have a bunch of farmers and gardeners and all kinds of people on this show to amplify the voices and make this a big thing. So, Salty, give us some news headlines from what's going on with the food supply, any kind of headlines that are relevant to the show. Let me know.
Absolutely. I got a couple of them. Which one do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear about the corn that had the derecho, or you want to hear about some FDA spinach recalls?
Ooh.
Whatever you want.
Or both of them, I'm assuming.
I think that's important.
I had some technical difficulties, so I had to pull up my computer here. But as far as Iowa, it was only in August that they had that derecho where that huge windstorm came through and destroyed tons of those crops. But it was interesting. There was one particular farmer that was reading this article, and just one guy, he had $1.5 million worth of structural damage that had just destroyed his crops. Wow. And destroyed the bins and everything like that. So he had lost like 190,000 bushel unit bin and another 65,000 bushel unit bin. And thankfully he was diversified a little bit, had some soybeans, and soybeans apparently are doing a little bit better. But reading through this whole article, they're hoping, fingers crossed, that they can get back on track next year. And really their attitude is, well, we're just going to harvest what we can harvest this year. We'll hit back on track next year. But they are not anticipating to restore some of that infrastructure until at least 2022. So another 2 years off before they can even rebuild to the point that they were at. So this isn't even encompassing dealing with growth or accommodating increased production yields as well. So
Paul, do we know? I mean, I'm sure they had insurance, but do we know? Did they get any type of assistance from the USDA or?
I haven't seen anything about that. I know there had been a lot of programs and a lot of like personal type of things that they had done to support. One of the followers that follows me and then I follow back, she had actually done a personal fundraiser and had raised a lot of funds and went to Iowa herself to distribute that.
Thank you, whoever that person is.
Yes, and she just changed her name on TikTok, and I don't remember her new name, but she's in Wisconsin. She's a does a lot of other different farming stuff, but is into dairy and big time chicken stuff.
Awesome.
Her mother just passed away.
Yes, you know exactly who I'm
We're
talking
so
about.
sorry for your loss. We are so sorry for your loss. It was
Yes.
that's a devastating thing, and yeah, that's bad. All right, so your second headline.
My second one, this one just came out a couple days ago. Let me switch over to my other article here. This one is coming to us through the FDA, actually. There's another recall on romaine heads. So there's been 12 cases in at least 6 states so far that they've been able to confirm. The interesting thing is that they haven't been able to confirm all of the strains and they're previously known strains. So this is something that we've had outbreaks with this particular E. coli in the past, and it's affected a lot of people, but it's surfacing again. So the states affected, let me go ahead and skip down to that part. They were romaine heads that were packed on October 15th and 16th and shipped to Alaska, Oregon, California, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Indiana, Nebraska, Missouri, Tennessee, Wisconsin, New Mexico, South Carolina, Washington, North Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, Massachusetts, Illinois, and Puerto Rico.
So basically everywhere.
Essentially, because they then go on to say there's more than likely other states that these had gotten shipped out to.
Oh boy.
So again, this is your romaine lettuces. So I don't know if y'all had heard about that.
I feel like I hear that every year.
Yeah, interesting fact about that is we will actually have people who don't buy our romaine that I picked from right outside this door when these recalls come out, which is interesting.
Yes, because they think it's all romaine.
Yeah, they assume that it has something to do with either where we bought the seeds or what have you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So Froggy, your opinion of that is, would that be like a very, very large operation that would be affected?
Yeah, and I got to be honest, let me give the disclaimer. This is not my area of expertise, right?
Yes.
But I've heard several things specifically from growers like this. Is one, it accounts to open air irrigation. And so when they're actually pulling water to irrigate in their fields from, canals and things like that, that's where contamination can come from. And then that pulls into the processing facility, which then, or sometimes it's just from the processing facility. But again, this is not my area of expertise by any means.
Yes. Disclaimer. Everything
Disclaimer.
That you
yeah, I am sure
this podcast.
There is so many other
our opinions of what is going on with the world.
There is probably so many other causes, right? Coming from so many different places. But
yeah, that's awful. I mean, I mean, you get to the point where you don't want to order a salad anymore anywhere you go, because it's happened like the past 4 years, I want to say, every single year.
And every single year. I mean, I remember when every single spinach was pulled off the shelves, and that seemed to happen a couple times as well. And I think this particular story is so critical and so important for us as a group, just for the mere fact that we can all grow our own lettuces. We can all grow our own spring mixes, arugula, these types of things, and not be dependent or reliant on, is there going to be a recall or not, or being afraid, is the food that we bought contaminated?
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree 100%. And as you guys know, we have a whole bunch of friends on TikTok, and a lot of them just grow lettuce in their basement, or microgreens in their basement, or mushrooms in their basement. It doesn't really take rocket science. And we have a whole bunch of people who want to help you guys learn stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Froggy, I want to see that sign.
Oh yeah. So shout out to her handle is West Texas Mom, I believe.
Oh my goodness.
She made us this awesome sign, as well as she made custom Farmer Froberg shirts and stickers. And I got a shirt, Mrs. Farmer Froberg got a shirt, and the two little farmers got a shirt.
That is adorable.
And I have like 20 stickers.
That is so cool.
That is
cool.
great.
I love that they did that. I didn't expect to see my name on a sign.
How cool is
that,
right?
So cool.
she's
Now, was this
definitely one
sent
of
to you,
our
or
big
did she bring it
supporters.
to you? Because I know you've been getting a lot of guests on your farm lately
So
too.
this was mailed.
Awesome.
This was mailed, but yes. So
I
I'm
gotta get
proud to announce that every weekend I've been having at least two visitors from TikTok coming to see us at the market.
that is so awesome. Like how fast that happened.
Yeah,
Yes.
really
So
cool.
awesome.
Well, I
Really
have
cool.
to say, I really enjoyed the one that you did the duet on.
Oh, that's yes, with Noack
Me
Farms.
too. I still
Yes.
don't know how, is it Noack?
Noack, yep.
Noack. Okay.
Noack. His first name's Destin. And so we're connected through our family. Basically, he knows my brother-in-law. He went to high school with my brother-in-law. And so we've known each other for a little while now. And he comes out to the farm and he's got a YouTube channel, Noack Farms. So he comes out and shoots videos and records a podcast called Farmcast out here.
Farmcast.
Very cool.
Farmcast.
I've been
Yeah.
trying to hunt it down. So I was
Yeah.
trying to hunt down his podcast and I wound up on his YouTube channel. And then I saw that he was at your farm. So I shared it to my Facebook page.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good channel. Definitely dives deep into, when to plant, what we're planting, also, more the nitty-gritty stuff of agriculture.
Definitely, Danny, after you do the editing, make sure you get that information up on the page.
Oh yeah. Well, here's what I'm doing, guys. So if you guys don't realize it, if you haven't been on my website, it's www.victorygardensrevival.com. I made an area of my website that has all of our friends' business links. So I went into a handful, not all of them yet, but I went into our friends' pages and I kind of crept on their links a little bit and stole some of their links and I put their
Awesome.
links on my page. So you guys can actually go on my website and kind of shop into our TikTok friends only. All of their websites
cool.
are there where you can find their podcast, their merch, their whatever website they have going on. You can support your local farmers. You can support our local well, maybe not local, our TikTok friends from all over the map, including Australia, which I hope
Including Australia. Shout out to you.
Yes.
Richard is here.
Is he here?
Yes,
Richard,
he is.
hi.
He was actually the first one on here. Let's see. We have Dakota Moore is here. Richard's here. Alex is here from Moonflower Organics. We have Growing Through the Weeds is here.
Nice.
And Rose Duncan is here. Yeah, we have quite a few people here already.
Yeah.
I made, Salty, I made a promise to one of your military friends. And I told him that I would call you out on the show.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. What you're talking about.
What is his name again?
Oh shoot. He just jumped on TikTok as well. Like seriously, 3 days ago. So I don't know if he wants me to say his real name or his TikTok name. So
okay, so we won't say his name, but one of Salty's military friends called him out because on the last show that we did, Salty said that it is supposed to be cement, and I said concrete. And his friend had said, no, actually, she's right, Salty, you're wrong. Cement is just the powder form, and concrete actually has the little stones and the pebbles and all of those things mixed in. So I was right and you were wrong.
I will give you a technicality on that one.
A technicality.
I
still think it's a regional thing and a load of boo-hoo, whatever.
Froberg, Mr. Froggy over here, I knew what he was asking. So.
Yeah. You seemed like you knew. It seemed that way.
That cement, I hate cement versus cement. I don't know about you guys.
There's even a regional dialect with that. Cement versus cement.
Yep, cement versus cement. Because honestly, for me, and I'm going to keep it clean here, but cement just sounds like a completely different word to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I still say concrete, and
That'll be the safe answer.
Dakota said salty says technicality.
Technicality. That's hilarious.
A technicality, guys. Um, let's see. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of comments. If you guys have questions, if you want to make fun of somebody, let us know in the comments.
You make fun of me, I can't see it, so it just didn't happen.
My paper and my phone just like fell. It fell right into my lap. Richard says, love it. Richard,
Love it.
let me know what those Australian slang words that you wanted me to use. Richard was giving me some tips, but I've already forgotten them because, you know, I have the memory of a goldfish. I'm going to quote Alex because Alex said that the other day, and I was like, I literally say that on a regular basis. So, Alex, we both have memories like goldfish. It's okay.
Well, I do know one of Richard's, and I wish he could talk right now, but he may be able to spell it out phonetically. So you know that big bird that's like an ostrich, but they have them in Australia?
An
Emu.
Yes, that's not how you say it, apparently.
Emu?
It's like emu.
Emu. Emu.
So we'll wait for him to see if he can phonetically spell it out. But yeah, that was something that blew my mind because I was always like, it's an
Say it
emu.
right, Richard.
An emu.
Emu.
Emu. Emu. I don't know. Okay, so
Moving on.
let me read our little script here because we seem a little squirrely today. Let's see.
Today.
Squirrely in the fact that my brain is all over the place today and I have not had any sense of focus at all today. What's your flex?
Ooh.
We got to do our flex, and Paul's got to be included because he's our first guest.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I think you get less.
I will share mine for the day, although it was a pretty powerful week, I must say. But my flex for the day was Paul's here late today too, helping us. We have a fire department right down the road from the farm. And so it's all the time. It's not Valentino Crowan, it's the fire department. So my flex for the day was we just got done with a farm tour. Really, really well. We had 20 people, you think? So all the board members and then their spouses and some other supporters of the farm came down. And we gave a farm tour, kind of a sunset farm tour. The president of our board, CEO and founder, she made a bunch of stuff like little hors d'oeuvres out of the farm produce, and it was great. It was a good time.
That sounds like a good
hardcore flex.
Cool.
That sounds awesome. My flex of the week is I can cross my eye now. I don't know. Did it work? Did it work? I did not know how to do that as of a couple of days ago. I learned it on TikTok, guys. So those
are crazy videos to see. That's insane.
My other flex of the week, because that was a very minor one, was the video that I made for you guys on Veterans Day. I had so much fun making myself look like a 1940s person. I think 40s. 50s.
I was like, Danny.
Something.
Yeah, that was really impressive.
I had a lot of fun putting on the makeup and making myself look like I was from a different era. And and you guys know, I used to be a different kind of TikToker. I used to do the acting and the dances and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a blast from the past to be able to do something like that. And it was for you guys. And it was, it made me happy.
You did awesome. It was great too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was impressed. That eyebrow, I don't know. I can't get my eyes to do.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I could do all kinds of tricks with my face. It's kind of scary. I can flare my nostrils. I can wiggle my ears.
Wow.
All kinds of stuff. You're going to get me going. I'm just going to... I'm going to keep going.
You do squirrely well.
I do squirrely well, yeah. Sometimes. You guys caught me at a rare day. Someone said pin up girl Danny. That's the
There
second.
you go. Yes.
Oh, it's Howie.
Yep. Okay, it's Howie. Okay, so he's cool with it. Is he on right now?
He is.
Awesome.
Did you hear that, Howie, about how I called Salty out? Because I promised you I would. Okay, so let's
Salty.
see.
Wait, we didn't get Salty's flex.
Oh, that's right.
Two flex.
Yeah, you're forgetting the Pauls.
I'm just
That's okay. I'm sorry.
You want mine or you want Paul?
You. Oh,
Me?
which Paul? Which Paul?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing.
Salty first, then Paul
All
too.
right.
Okay.
I had a lot this week, so I'll go with the farm one here for you. I told you guys last week that we had put in a new driveway that really was needed, and we got our first huge delivery of feed for the winter. So for us, that was awesome to be able to drive from the main road, put it right up into the barn, and not have to haul it, couple hundred feet. So for me, that was a huge flex for the week.
If you guys have never had to actually carry something that's like 50 pounds plus, then you don't understand how great it is that he has a road that goes straight to the barn.
We had 2 tons of feed, literal tons of feed that we had to deliver. So yeah, that was very nice not to have to walk it back and forth.
That's awesome.
Richard says,
I just thought I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, man, what's my flex on? No, actually, so I'm new to TikTok, and I've only got a few followers, but actually, and only a few videos. But actually, this week I had somebody reach out. Kind of what got me into even working here is that my wife and I are trying to do like a little homestead garden, growing our own food in our backyard. We got chickens this year.
nice.
And so we did a short kind of tour video of our backyard, and actually had somebody reach out, like just wanting advice on just basically how we built our raised beds, what kind of soil we're using. And so it felt good to be on the other side, because we were watching people on YouTube or Instagram and all that to try to figure out what we needed to be doing. So it felt cool to be on the other side of that, having somebody that was just starting and saw what we did and was
it feels good to help other people.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
It's a good flex.
Yeah, very
Well, and I follow you, Paul, and you have a really nicely put together raised bed backyard. You take it, you use that space really well.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to
beat me to it. I was gonna say the same thing. Like your style is awesome.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't been on, I don't know what your TikTok handle is anymore, but
yeah. So Indie Harvesters, INDIE Harvesters. Yeah, we've been waiting. We only been really doing about 1.5 years, but we're now gonna start trying to show what we've been working on. So
that's awesome. Yeah, go give him a follow, guys, because his account's just gonna explode. Because
we're gonna try to post more.
Garden is tip top shape. It's top shelf. It's very nice.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Richard said emu is pronounced emu. Emu.
See, I still couldn't do it right.
Emu. All right. So are we ready for our guest?
Yes, I'm ready.
So today is our special Veterans Day episode. We had initially only planned on having one Veterans Day episode, but all of the people we asked to come on the show said yes. So we actually have 4 veterans that want to come on the show. So we're going to do 2 today, and we're going to do 2 more next week, next Friday. We weren't expecting to have a show next Friday, but we are going to do that because we love our veterans and we want to have everyone on here. And I am going to invite Salty's special guest. And she is now invited, and hopefully she sees that notification, or we're going to be here a while talking about everything.
Just being squirrely.
Salty, while we're waiting on her, could you tell everybody like what made you want to ask this specific person, like invite this specific person onto the show?
Absolutely. So, well, I'll let her introduce her name, but a little background story is, she's very similar to me in the fact that not only has she been a veteran, but it's one of those things where she has taken her homestead and she's developed a business with it as well. So we have a lot of very similar type of interests as well. So she's definitely a better sheep mama than I am, and she does that's what her farm business really focuses on, is her sheep. But she also raises pigeons too, and so I'll let her go into how she got into pigeons. All right.
She's ready to come in. I want to introduce you guys to Mama Goose.
Mama Goose.
Mother Goose. Mother Goose.
Hello, Mother Goose.
Mother Goose.
All right, we're up. There's
Mother Goose.
Hello, Mother Goose. Can you hear us?
You got it. Mine says connecting to audio on hers.
It might.
Oh, can you hear us? Oh, she's muted.
Yeah, I just clicked the button that says ask to unmute. So it's popping up right now.
Technical difficulties.
There we go, Mother Goose.
You there?
Hi, everybody.
Mother Goose, hello. Yay.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. So we're going to start you out with, what's your flex of the week?
My flex of the week. I guess it's been sitting in the deer blind and not turning into a popsicle this week.
Nice.
That's a good one. No one wants to do that.
Bit of a bummer though. We watched the neighbor kid shoot the buck we were chasing this week.
Oh man.
That's the worst.
Okay, my first question is, what's the accent? Where are we from?
Minnesota.
That's what I served with the guy from Minnesota, and I was gonna guess that, but I didn't want to be wrong.
Everyone says that I sound like I'm from Minnesota. You guys hear the difference now?
Yes.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna have to come visit then. See if
you do. Minnesota is beautiful.
Yes, it is. But it's very cold right now and nobody's enjoying it.
I hear that. It's been pretty chill in Pennsylvania.
I won't tell you that our high today was 85 down here in the Gulf Coast of Texas.
You're ridiculous.
He's always showing off.
I'll say that.
It is. Like, he's just always showing off. It's ridiculous. Oh, the weather's just so perfect.
I think we were lucky to get to 50 today.
Our high today was 33.
All right.
You win.
The nice thing about the bad weather, it always guarantees that somebody is going to give birth.
Yeah.
So, Mother Goose, what is your specialty on the farm? What is your absolute favorite animal? And what do you guys do on your farm?
So on our farm, we raise meat stock. We raise meat goats, butcher sheep, Hereford beef cattle. I'm in the process of getting back into meat rabbits. I'm raising French lops now. And then go to the chopping block, obviously.
I used to raise English lops and Flemish giants and lion heads and mini lops, all kinds of stuff. So
are you raising boar goats, Spanish cross? What?
Kiko. We raised the Kiko goats and Kiko cross.
Okay. Awesome.
We chose the Kiko because the past few years we've had a big issue with wormer-resistant parasites. We had 2 goats from a scheduled worming herd that brought in 2 strains that took out 75% of our herd.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds terrible.
So
is that a widespread issue?
Yeah. That's actually a really big issue, is that people are overworming their animals by scheduled worming, and they're building that chemical resistance, and it's extremely difficult to design a new wormer that'll work.
So is your parasite program just based on reactive treatment, or what are you doing for your parasite program?
With our parasite program now, we do heavy pasture rotation. We don't let the pastures get low. That helps keep the parasites down. We also conduct fecals every quarter. So every 3 months we run a fecal.
So anybody listening, if you don't know what that is, what they do is they harvest the manure, they put it in a high saline solution, and the eggs float to the top and they get a count. And it's to test the parasite load.
Yep. And we also keep an eye on our more problem goats and sheep. We haven't had an issue with sheep. Sheep are really perfect for somebody starting out with a small livestock animal. They're way more worm resistant than goats.
What breed of sheep are we raising?
I raise pretty much a wool mutt and then some purebred Katahdins. That's how salty and I met.
Yep. I do have a question for you. I don't know this as much, but do goats and sheep, do they have any kind of cross parasite contamination that can happen? So if your goats have a parasite, can the sheep get the same parasite from them? Okay.
Oh,
They
boy.
can.
What about other species like cows? And do cows and things get that?
Primary grazers, if the grass is too short, they can pick up any parasite that your other animals have. Because if they have quick recap, every livestock animal actually carries a small amount of worms in their system. Like how we humans naturally carry dormant cancer cells, they carry parasites. When they get overstressed, whether it's weather, lack of feed, lack of water, bad habitat, their worms will flare up. And then they'll have an excess amount of worms that attack their system, and then they shed them out to infect other animals.
That's an issue.
So,
Definitely.
yeah. If you get a rescue goat that has a very bad worm issue and introduce it to your sheep to be their buddy, their chances are they're going to infect your sheep flock or your horse herd, everybody.
I know a lot of farmers that I've been talking to in a lot of the TikTok lives have also said parasites have been an issue pretty heavily this year. And Dakota said, I heard Pennsylvania was hit very hard this year too with parasite resistant issues in goats. So it's definitely something that's happening and people realize that it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
And so I'm curious to transition into to the market standpoint, if you would. I'm assuming you're direct to consumer is how you're marketing your products.
Yep.
Are you running farmers markets? Or are you doing on-farm sales?
We do on-farm sales. Since Minnesota, you have to be a FDA-approved butcher to sell meat. So we just sell livestock on the hoof. They buy it. They can we do offer option for them to butcher on site, which does get me a lot of Islamic, Muslim, Hindu buyers because they have their rituals they do, which we don't mind. We just leave so we don't have to watch, and we tell them it has to be humane.
Awesome.
And that's mostly how we sell our meat.
So what else do we want to cover?
Pigeons.
Pigeons.
My angry potatoes and government drones.
Rats with wings.
Nope, not mine. Mine are price tags with wings.
That's a Finding Nemo quote. If
are we raising roller pigeons? Are we raising meat pigeons? What are we raising?
Okay, when I grew up, we had a bird dog, which got us into pigeons. We got some mutt pigeons, and it ended up with us, being like, hey, let's check out these cool different breeds. You Google pigeon breeds, you're just like, oh my God, look at them all. I actually started out raising Medinas, which used to be a utility class bird. Now their class is a fancy. They changed the standard when I was in the 5th or 6th grade. I finally this year found my old standard pigeons of the Medinas.
Nice.
Which if you look at my TikToks, those are the angry potatoes with wings.
I've never heard anyone call them that. That's funny.
They look like it.
So your pigeons then are raised for show is what I'm getting. Okay.
But the nice thing about the Medinas is that they can also be classed as meat birds. So if
Wonderful.
shit hits the fan, I got a backup. I got birds that'll leave, go eat, and then come home. I don't have to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
And the excess I can butcher.
I'm curious. So I've eaten plenty of dove in my day. I haven't had the distinct pleasure of eating a pigeon. What have you consumed any of your pigeons? What does it taste like?
It actually tastes like a leaner chicken.
Interesting.
I haven't had
chicken.
I haven't eaten dove before, so I'm not sure how dove tastes.
Gotcha.
Because the doves that I used to raise were like the size of your silverware. They were tiny.
Sure.
My
yeah.
mind is
Okay.
blown that someone just said that they eat doves.
Whoa, hang on.
Dove
So
is huge
I
in
think
Texas.
I was gonna say, did we just identify a state cultural difference? Do y'all not hunt and eat dove in y'all state?
No, we
No.
do.
Not that
Oh.
I know of.
Interesting.
It's
Not
Some-
as much.
actually
I know it's
very
huge.
popular up here.
Yeah.
Pheasants.
Yep, that too.
Yep.
Hunt
Yeah, we have
pheasants. I
people-
never heard dove.
Oh,
We have
dove
people
is
who
huge. I know
plant-
in Texas.
Yeah, some ranchers plant food plots specifically to bring the dove in, and then they lease it out for hunting.
Really?
Yep.
I had no idea. See, I'm learning so much just having this podcast. I'm serious. Like, I learned so much from this.
That's the
It's-
fun part.
That's
hope
it. I
everyone-
honestly, that's new for me too. I did not realize that it wasn't like a widely known thing.
It's very
Mhm.
popular up here, but the problem is trying to find places to hunt.
Gotcha. You see,
Because a lot of places I grew up hunting, well, now there's like 2 or 3 houses on there. I'm like, when did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
You guys know I'm in my closet, so I was looking for my husband's shirt. He has a shirt that says "Got Nuts." It says "Got Nuts" on the front, and then on the back it says "Hillbilly Squirrel Hunt." So we have the hillbilly squirrel hunt here every year, and they go out and they shoot the squirrels, and then they come home with 1,000,000 squirrels, and then it's a lot of work for a little bit of meat. So I don't really
It's tasty
understand
though.
it.
I've never had squirrel, but my
Oh,
family
it's good.
has hunted squirrel.
Every winter up here, our local hunting club has a scrabbit competition.
That's funny.
So Dakota asks,
Oh,
do you butcher them like pheasants?
Is she frozen on y'all's screen?
And
Was
whoever
frozen.
gets
Oh, there she
the
is.
most points wins the mounted squirrel riding a rabbit trophy. It's a big competition and it's actually a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. We actually have a rattlesnake roundup up here too, where they round up where they round up the rattlesnakes. Now, I didn't know that there were even rattlesnakes in Pennsylvania until I was an adult. No adult told me to watch out for a rattlesnake. I thought they were only in like desert areas. Apparently we have a lot of them. Like a
Probably what, a timber rattler?
I don't know
I
what
would
kind it
assume.
is. I just know every single year they have the rattlesnake roundup, and a whole bunch of guys go into the woods and they gather all these snakes up. And I think what they do is they milk the snake and then they use it for the anti-venom
Interesting.
Mhm.
in case someone gets bit.
So, Mother Goose, I have a question. So, here in Texas, a lot of ranchers have problems with coyotes. They also have problems with hogs tearing up land. We have problems with armadillos tearing up land. What are some of the main critters y'all got to worry about up there?
Big thing we have up here is coyotes, which actually the coyotes we have up here in the north aren't real coyotes anymore. They're not like the coyotes you guys have in Texas. They're a cross between the eastern gray wolf and this Texas southern coyote that moved up here.
Interesting.
We have a big problem, and ours up here travel more in packs.
Mhm.
And my best friend lives about 3 miles away from me. She raises dairy goats. She had to get a pair of livestock guardian dogs because within an hour, she had a coyote dig underneath her fence and grab one of her kids.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
And
That's
so,
terrifying.
is that wolf coyote hybrid? Is that a reproducible hybrid? Are
Yep.
they? Yeah, really interesting.
So I think it was Watusi Wrangler came up with a video the other day, and she was outside and she was like, "Do you hear them?"
I remember that.
It's a huge coyote pack outside of her house. That happened to me once. I was at my husband's aunt's house, and we were sleeping out in a tent outside in the yard, and because there wasn't a lot of room to sleep in the house, so we were sleeping in a tent, and there was a huge pack of coyotes that like right outside the tent, and me and my kids are sitting there shivering, afraid to go run in the house because there were coyotes. I'll never forget that. I was so cold.
Apparently there's a rattlesnake roundup in Sweetwater, Texas. I'm getting in on my comments from West Texas Mom, who made our sign.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so sweet.
Sweetwater, where is that in Texas? Is that central?
That That's a great question. That was a really good
You're actually
question.
from San Antonio. I know San Antonio. My husband's from there.
So she's from West Texas, so I would assume it's west of Austin.
West Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying that the rattlesnakes that I'm talking about are timber rattlesnakes.
Interesting.
Because they're venomous.
Yep. Well, I think there's like 3 different rattlesnakes that we have here in the United States, and the timber ones are the ones that are more up north.
Yeah, I think we have them south of in southern Minnesota up here too.
Yeah.
So
Where at in the state are you, Mother Goose?
I'm actually about an hour straight south of the Twin Cities.
Oh, okay. So
If
not
you
too
look
far
at
from
the-
Rochester then, right?
Nope, I'm north of them. If you look at the map of I-35 going through Minnesota,
Yep.
I literally live out of that.
Gotcha. I used to live in Minnesota. I don't know if I had ever told you that or not. Yeah,
Chelsea, where haven't you lived?
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens. I was Army. My dad was Army.
Oh, I didn't realize you were Army brat
Oh,
too.
you're an Army brat? I didn't
I'm
know
an Army
I
brat
didn't
too.
know that.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel cheated because I've only been to 3 other states where I've had to live.
And Mother Goose,
stuck
what
6
branch
weeks
were you in?
What?
What branch were you in?
I was Army.
Oh, you were Army. Okay, groovy.
Yep.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for dealing with us.
We're not that bad.
That's such a great comeback.
I've never heard that one
I've
before,
never
and I
heard
love
that
it.
one. I love it. Thanks for dealing with us.
I tell my mom that every Veterans Day. I'm like, thanks for dealing with me and my husband.
So, Mother Goose, I'm curious. So here at Hope Farms, we're a nonprofit farm. We got a big old grant from the USDA to start a veteran training program. And so I often catch fellow veterans in that transition period. I am curious of what pushed you into ag. Are you a multi-generational agriculturalist, or are you a first-generation agriculturalist, and what pushed you into that career?
We are actually multi-generational. My mom and dad both grew up on working dairy farms. And things happened, and my dad didn't get the chance to inherit his family farm like he was supposed to. So they moved out into the country, didn't have a big space, just about 3 acres. That's where I learned a lot of my hunting, my fishing, my foraging, doing the more small meat raising like chickens, rabbits, pigeons. And then about 2 years into me being in the military, they got an option to buy where we're at now. And so they jumped on it. And now my dad's back into raising his cows and everything.
How much land do you have?
We have on the main farmstead about 10 acres.
Nice.
Then we have an additional 30 acres by my mom's family farm.
Awesome.
Very nice.
I would love to have that.
Soon.
Still stuck in suburbia, guys.
Give up, you can do it.
I will. I'll try.
So, Mother Goose, I'm sure you don't have a favorite, but if you have to pick one favorite critter that you raise, it could be based on taste, it could be based on personalities, what have you. What's your favorite critter?
Sheep, hands down.
Good answer.
If I love my goats, don't get me wrong, but my sheep are so laid back. I don't have to worry about them headbutting me or poking me with their horns because they want treats, they want food, they want attention. They cover a lot smaller space than my beef cows. I love my Herefords, but they take a lot of pasture space and a lot of hay.
Mm-hmm.
The sheep are just kind of the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
Sheep are so loving too. Like a goat, they can be, but goats are a little bit more standoffish, and because they're a lot more difficult to keep penned up, I prefer sheep as well. I'm with you on that one.
Oh, see, my goats are the complete opposite of yours. They will break out of the pastures to come up to the house and demand food.
Really?
Staying here in Texas.
Screaming their full heads off because, heaven forbid, their hay goes down about that much, and well, they can't eat that.
That sounds like a horse.
Texas.
Aaliyah on Facebook is asking, do you sell milk?
The state of Minnesota, I can't sell milk off my farm. It has to go to like Kemp's or Land O'Lakes, the farm, or not the farm, the milk companies. But I
you-
can't sell it for
Is
pet
that for regulation in the state that you, as a farmer, have to give it to the corporation?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Certain states are like that. Yes.
can you
How
sell
many
it?
states
Can
are
you
like
sell it
that?
for non-consumption?
Yes, I can. Or if I want to go a more roundabout way, I can sell a jar and give you some free milk to go with it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But you
Yep.
have the whistleblowers on that too, though.
sure.
How about sheep milk? Have you ever milked a sheep before for consumption?
Yes, I have. And oh my God, it is delicious.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. And I've
that.
heard sheep milk makes some of the best cheeses too.
And it-
Our HEB down here has sheep cheese.
And the milk flavor depends a lot on their diet too.
Mm.
You
Mhm.
want some nice, sweet, thick milk, a lot of alfalfa, a lot of grassy feed.
All right, I have a question from Dakota Moore. She says, Salty, do you ever sell any of your Katahdid lambs?
Oh, Katahdin lambs.
There we go.
I have not yet, but it is one of the things that I've considered selling them before. But so far, what we've been doing is we've just been adding to our herd, and then the males we just keep for meat processing.
I have to say to you, Salty, it's all your fault. My daughter wants a puppy now.
I got a litter coming. It's a perfect opportunity for a road trip.
So we watched the documentary, the Littlest Farm.
Biggest little farm.
And I'm with
We
Alex.
did too.
I'm with Alex on this one. I cried like a
That's a
freaking
good
baby.
one. I'm telling you, it's a good one.
And because your breed of dogs were on the movie, I said,
Mhm.
Salty has those and he breeds puppies. And she started shopping online. I'm not even kidding. She started looking them up. She's Googling everything about them. She wants those nocturnal dogs.
They
There you
are
go, one
awesome.
step closer.
I got a question from one of my lives, guys. I tried to plug it in, but we have when it comes to goat fencing, we have a saying in Texas that basically says if your fence can hold water, then it can hold a goat.
I have a goat saying for you as well. My saying is if you have goats, so do your neighbors.
That's a good one.
You want to hear a story about one of my goats getting out and going to the neighbor's house?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Yes.
Tell us.
Okay, so we live literally about 500 feet from my aunt and uncle's house. We have a field in between us. That's how we're the only way we're not neighbors. He decided that he doesn't want to garden at his place. He wants to garden at our place, which, that's fine. Just keep it cleaned up and everything. I want the leftovers. He planted Brussels sprouts this year. I found out that goats will go through 3 strands of hot wire to get Brussels sprouts.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And there will be no Brussels sprouts left. And your uncle will come home from vacation and think that moth ate all those Brussels sprouts. Which
And let him think those
Lots of
moths ate it.
Yeah, why not? Blame it on that.
Yep.
Okay, so I have a message that I have to say. Our second guest, if you are watching, I need you to approve the Zoom invitation that we sent you through email. In order for me to invite you into the podcast, I need to be friends with you in the contacts area, or I need you to go into your email and open up that email that is the invitation for this. And then it'll pop up on my screen that you're trying to come in. So if you want
they just messaged and said, going to do it now.
Okay. All right. And you can, are we going to have her stick around, or are we going to go to the second guest?
It's up to her. I have one more question for her, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mother Goose. So we have, I think the majority of our listeners thus far are beginner or, moderate. And so if you could give one bit of advice to anyone just starting out who either just watched The Biggest Little Farm and wants to go buy 10 acres, or they just bought their plot and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. What's that one bit of advice you'd give them?
Take advantage of all the modern advances we have now. Take a soil sample and find out what your soil is deficient in. Find out what is best to grow on your land as far as like hay land or pasture land. That's what we did. And we get about 30 some bales every baling off of 7 acres, brown bales.
Oh, wow.
That is astronomical. And it is because we took that time to see what does our soil need? What can we plant that'll grow with this soil type? What do we need to add?
And that's great advice. And speaking of technological advances that I've never freaking seen in my life before, there is a TikToker on here that has a bunch of cows and has a vacuum for the poop. Have you guys seen this video?
Yes, it's like a poop Zumba.
It's a poop Zumba. Yeah, it's a Roomba. Yeah, it's a poop Roomba for cows. So if
Factory farm across the road from me uses one.
Really?
Yes. Yep. Those are so cool.
That's a new to me invention.
Hey Danny, did it work now for our next guest?
Let me check. My mouse doesn't want to work. There we go. Invite. It did not.
Ooh.
It did not. Unfortunately.
Try it one more time. Not.
You have to accept the yeah, accept the invite or specifically accept the contact request.
Accept the con. Oh, it's saying the link is expired. Can you send it again? Oh no.
See if there should be an email that you received before that one, before the invite for this particular Zoom meeting. There was one that I sent you for a friend request or a contact request. Try to see if you can find that one. And then once you're in my contacts, I can just invite you into the show.
I was going to say, since you were talking about that little poop Roomba, one of the news articles I was looking at is something that's going on in Europe right now. And I don't have it in front of me because I wasn't really planning on presenting this, but talking about the technology in agriculture is huge here in the United States. But in Europe, they're actually looking at eliminating some of the technology. They're looking at doing, something with their Greenpeace deal. And so they're trying to eliminate not just mass farming or mass corporate farms, but also the technology associated with that.
You mean the Green New Deal?
Yes.
Really? They're trying to take away a lot of.
They're trying to take away technology.
Huh, interesting.
And so that was kind of interesting because it's one of those that they're looking at how to adjust, carbon footprint, and there's some other ramifications. Obviously, if you take away mass production, you're taking away, mass food supply as well. But the problem is it's not just isolated to Europe, that they're also trying to implement these policies outside of Europe. And so they're trying to push a global agenda on this as well. Interestingly, the United States and the current administration is trying to block Europe, the European Union, from passing this legislation at the moment. So just you talking about your poop Roomba made me think of that, because I think that's a super cool thing. I'd much rather a robot do that than me.
Yeah. I have a robot vacuum for my floor, and I will say I have allergies, and pulling out my carpets was the best thing I ever did for my allergies. And and I got a robot vacuum, and that keeps the floor nice and clean, and I don't suffer with allergies the way that I once did. So sometimes technology really does help a family, because my kids we were getting sinus infections so many times a year, and it wound up being those carpets. It wasn't the pollen. It wasn't the pollen count outside. It was my carpet.
Yep.
Can't put what's under them things.
Danny, they said the link is still not working.
What do I do?
So the only thing that I could think of is
I'm going to send them another email invite now.
Okay, you have the ability to do that. Okay. My second suggestion was that we end and do a part 2, but I don't want to do that.
But the actual email address is what I need, and I don't know if oh wait, I think I remember it.
Yeah.
I think I remember it.
Yeah.
It was pretty simple.
It was pretty simple.
Yes.
It's pretty simple.
So much for that brain of a goldfish.
We're getting it, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's coming. I promise. We're really excited.
And one more piece of advice I have for people starting out with homesteading and off-gridding. Start small. Don't be afraid to start with rabbits and chickens and like 1 or 2 goats for milk or 1 or 2 sheep.
See, that was my advice too. I'm with you on that one.
Don't jump in and then end up having to sell them all because you're overwhelmed. Better off to start small.
People do that. I definitely have seen people do that. So that's very, very solid advice. Okay.
And take away your flower beds and put plants in there that you can eat. That's what we did. We haven't looked back since.
I had a conversation with a TikToker today, and I'm not sure if she's in here or not, but she has like a garden center, and she usually just deals with like flowers and things like that. And I told her, I said, you know what, guys, the Victory Gardens specifically, you guys don't know this because you haven't been following it, but the Victory Gardens cause got huge this year. It got very, very big in the beginning of the year. It kind of fizzled out. Towards the end. Like a lot of the group owners really aren't pushing for it anymore. But I know there's going to be another wave of Victory Gardens next year. It's going to be a big wave. And hopefully we're all here to support that, happening by then. But I told her, I said, I want to give you some advice for next year. Make sure you put a little plaque that says edible flowers in your garden center, because she doesn't have that. She just has flowers everywhere. I said, no, make a section that specifically says edible flowers on it. And you're going to get a lot of people that are going to buy those, because in the gardens area, I see a lot of these little trends coming along, and people want to plant those edible flowers for the bees and for themselves.
Danny, quick question.
Sure.
Have you heard of the Back to Eden gardens? That was a big trend up here.
We talked about Back to Eden on the show the last time. Oh, wait. Come on.
Oh.
Hello.
How's it going, Susan?
Welcome to the show. This is EOD. Oh, you go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I was gonna. First off, thank you, Mother Goose. I really enjoy. Really great interview.
Thank you.
Really great. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for your service. Always appreciate fellow veterans.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Guys, our next.
And did we get Mother Goose's TikTok account information just in case?
Before you go,
we forget
your TikTok information. What do you want people to know?
My TikTok information. What do you mean?
Or your website, or whatever, any plug that you want for yourself. Go.
How can we find you?
Yeah.
Okay, on TikTok you can look up my name, Mother Goose, or I'm also at Farm Mama Forever. And then we also have our farmstead on Facebook. We have a page, and it's Tupa's Cloverleaf Farmstead.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thanks, Mother Goose.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later then.
All right. See you later. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
So our next guest, y'all, I'm super, super excited about.
Me too.
We had the opportunity to connect on TikTok. We've been talking a lot on the side. I think he's going to speak for himself, but his handle is EOD Confections on Instagram, as well as on TikTok, as well as Instagram, I believe too. And so we're going to let you take it. If you would just give a little introduction.
Of course, my name is Aaron, and thank you very much for having me on. This is terrific, and it's fun interacting with you over on TikTok. But I'm a former service member. I first served in the Navy as a cook, and then I switched over to the Army as an explosive ordnance disposal, or EOD technician, which is the military's bomb squad. So I did that for about 14 years. But my second deployment to Afghanistan, my third in total. I was an EOD team leader, and I was injured by an IED, which left me blind. So since then, I've been trying to live my best life as a blind person, a father, a veteran, you name it. And I did what anybody in my situation would have done. I started a chocolate company with my fantastic wife. And in the off time, which there seems to be little now that we have identical twin toddlers, along with my 9-year-old son, I like to run ultra marathons, climb mountains, whitewater kayak, and generally just do anything that gets me outside. And of course, from the TikTok account, you can tell I love to cook.
Oh yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. First and foremost, I want to thank you for your service. I think you're incredible. I think you're inspiring. I've been stalking your TikTok like crazy, just soaking it all in, and I think you're so awesome. And I don't even know what else to say. I think you're awesome.
I feel like we're in the presence of a superhero.
I do too.
Yes.
Like honestly, like I'm kind of getting that fangirl vibe.
Right?
Like,
oh, giddy.
You're so awesome. I really think you're so awesome.
My first
thank you.
question, I know you mentioned you were a cook in the Navy. So, and you kind of joked about, you did the natural thing and sort of started a chocolate company. What during that transition period, what pushed you to cooking and just, preparing food? We're all about food on this podcast. So what pushed you to food?
Well, I've been cooking since I could reach over the counter. So it was just kind of a natural fit for me after my military service. But there was this time, actually it was coming, Thanksgiving was coming up as the holidays. And right after, see, I lost my eyesight to the IED blast in 2011, but then 2015, due to complication with the surgery or the injury, I contracted bacterial meningitis, and that stole what was left of my hearing that the blast hadn't taken from me. So I was totally deaf, totally blind. I was trapped in my body. I mean, my whole world stopped at my fingertips, literally. I mean, pitch black, total silence, no messages in. It was really isolating. I mean, you talk about social distancing, but it was a very lonely time and a very sad time. So I fell back on something that I knew made me happy, and I knew I could make others happy because it was the holidays. It was time to be, grateful, time to spend with family. I love Thanksgiving because, for two reasons. One, you get family around, and it's just an excuse to have your family and be grateful for things. And then two, it's an excuse just to be totally gluttonous. So cooking first was a therapy for me. It was an outlet. It was something I could do even though I couldn't see and I couldn't hear. I could still cook.
And I actually, my father-in-law has retinitis pigmentosa. So he started going blind in his 20s. He started with his night vision, and eventually he started to lose all of his sight. And he's an incredible person like you. He loves to cook as well. He absolutely loves to cook. He's the one that taught us how to can. He's the one that teaches us how to pickle things and all sorts of things. He's an incredible man, and he builds picnic tables. He doesn't let anything stop him, and I can tell that you are just like him. You guys are both incredible people, and that's why I was so excited to have you on the show, because I can appreciate someone like you. I have someone like you in my life, and I think it's incredible. It's awesome.
I love it. I try to think that, like, what do they say? You've seen everything, right? I can't say I've seen everything, but I'm always running into individuals that are surprising me every single day, and they just kind of push the borders of what we thought was possible. And even in my own circles, where the blind ultra marathon runner, that's kind of or at least like outdoor athletics type thing. It's a narrow field. So I know a lot of people that are just doing astounding things without even looking what they're doing. It was funny. My buddy Lonnie Bedwell is the first blind person to ever kayak the entire Grand Canyon.
Oh,
And
wow.
a friend of mine, Eric Weinmayer, is the first blind person, I think still the only blind person who have ever climbed Mount Everest. So these
Wow.
guys are the ones that just, I take all my excuses away, make it tough to be a blind, a blind, deaf, lazy person.
Wow, that's incredible. Those are some incredible people.
Well, Lonnie, the kayaker, he's also a roofer. And that's when I point to him and I go, that's crazy.
I'm with you. I don't like heights.
Oh, man.
Totally with you.
So you mentioned, you talk to your family. Your wife sounds like she's your biggest supporter and your number one fan, and y'all's wonderful kids. Does the whole family cook? Is the whole family pumped about food?
Oh yeah, well, we that's one of our favorite together times. Kayla loves to be behind the camera, the phone, recording it all, getting the babies, digging into the pots and pans and doing the classic toddler bang 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 bang. And my son, our oldest, loves to cook anything with sugar in it. So we've got plenty for him.
I definitely have a kid like that. So we didn't ask you what your flex of the week is. So we have a thing called Flex of the Week. It's the best thing that happened to you all week and something that you're very proud of or excited about.
Well, speaking of TikTok, we only started that account back on Memorial Day. And I said a message in memoriam of our fallen comrades, our fellow service members that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. But that one video took off, and now we're growing in followers and views and all of that, and it's actually an amazing transformation to our own website and sales. So just this week, we're bypassing most of last year's sales just through the social media push. So we're very proud of that, and we're actually scrambling to keep up with the holiday sales now.
Awesome. Congratulations.
It's so
That's
crazy
incredible.
how TikTok can just amplify everyone. I mean, everybody who's out there being genuine and being themselves. I mean, you guys know, the audience knows, we're weird. We're weird people. But on TikTok, it's okay.
And we embrace it.
We're all allowed to be weird. And we're all allowed to love each other's weirdness. And I think that's what makes TikTok different. You get to see people for who they really are deep down inside. And like I said, I've been fangirling. I'm going through your videos and I think you're an awesome cook. And I think your story is incredible. And I think your wife is amazing for all the help that I was on your live last night and I could tell she was tired, but she was there. And it's just great when you have a community of people supporting you, and TikTok does that for us.
Well, and that's a great thing is that, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I love going live with my wife because it's that's the one chance she gets to get in front of the camera, and I get to show her off because she's amazing.
Oh, she's very pretty too. Very pretty. No one heard me? Did I crack out there? I said she's very pretty too.
Oh, yes, she absolutely is. You don't have to tell me.
So I'm curious. So I think my favorite videos you do is your cooking without looking. First off, really catchy name, and I love it. And I'm curious, that can't be easy. How do you have the kitchen memorized? Like what's the secret?
Well, first the name was definitely catchier than watch Aaron burn himself every day. But it just comes with repetition. Like I said, I've been cooking for most of my life, and I started, my first paying job was Chuck E. Cheese, and I worked my way up to McDonald's, and eventually I worked in every single one of those casual dining restaurants in my hometown, and then of course I was a Navy cook, and eventually I was cooking for the admiral of the commander of the U.S. Sixth Fleet in Gaeta, Italy, 3-star admiral, and I got to prepare food for royalty, dignitaries, and government officials all over Europe. It was fantastic.
Wow.
So now I'm just making what I love to do, and I cook every single day for the family. So why not put that kind of stuff on camera and share it with everybody?
And it worked out really well for you.
Really well.
How many followers do you have? Do you know offhand?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
I have no idea. I think somewhere around just shy of 90,000.
Wow.
That's
Awesome.
That's amazing. Since
you've
since
cooked
Memorial Day.
You've cooked all around the world for so many years. Can you have a favorite thing to cook? Do you have a favorite thing to make or prepare?
I get that question all the time. In fact, I get it 3 or 4 times during those live sessions. What's your favorite thing to make? And it's like saying what your favorite day of the year is, or your favorite holiday, or your favorite color. And I can't make, what is your favorite song? I mean, it all depends on my mood. It depends on how hungry I am, or where I am, or who I'm with. I don't really have a favorite thing to make, but I do have a few go-to things. I love making, scratch tiramisu. In fact, one of our fudge flavors is kind of an homage, a tip of the hat to my time in Italy, our American pick-me-up, because tiramisu is literally translated is a conjunction of tirare misu, which means pick-me-up, because it's got coffee, chocolate, a little booze in there, and I made an all-American version, or American pick-me-up, with white chocolate and bourbon cream alcohol in there, and then some Georgia pecans instead of hazelnuts, and then of course a little coffee roasted with American pride.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds so. First off, thank you for pronouncing pecan correctly. I greatly appreciate that.
I'll say it the wrong way for you. Pecan.
So what about your wife? Does she have a favorite thing that you cook for her?
Anything in a tortilla.
I'm like that.
We joke that her 5 favorite food groups are tacos, quesadillas, burritos, burrito bowls, enchiladas, or nachos.
That's me.
But really, we wrap just about everything in a taco tortilla around here, and everybody's happy.
I do the same thing. That's definitely me. So me and Froggy have been throwing around this idea about like a fear factor kind of thing. What is the weirdest thing that you have ever eaten? Or maybe even enjoyed? It was weird and you enjoyed it and no one else seems to like it.
I don't know. It's all about mindset, perspective. We joke that in naan, the flatbread, the troops over in Afghanistan used to call it footbread because the rumor was they flattened the bread by stepping on it. But I've had what is it, the Filipino century egg, the
balut.
What's that?
And I'll try anything 3 times. Scientific method.
Filipino century. Did I say it right?
Have you ever heard of them? What do they call it? Budon? I forget what it's called. But
balut?
That may be the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Is that where it's like a chicken embryo, or
Yeah,
Is it something else?
It's pretty much a partially formed chicken that's been it's still in the shell.
How was that?
It's not bad.
Really?
It's a little weird, but new.
I didn't know it when you said it, but when you explained it, I definitely understood. Like, I've definitely seen people eat these things on YouTube, and it's like, wow, I don't know if I could do that. It actually, I mean, you guys know, if you're in a survival situation, you will eat anything. So it really depends on how hungry you are.
How hungry are you?
So I had a question about the kids, because you do a lot of cooking. I know your wife likes anything in a tortilla, and yours depends on the mood. How about the kids? Is there anything that the kids are picky with, or what they don't eat? Because most kids, there's something that they usually don't like, or there's only one food they like. Are your kids a little bit different because they've been exposed to so much before?
I don't know if I got lucky with kids that just eat everything. I mean, they're boys. I mean, they really do eat about anything. Or it's because it's what's it, nature versus nurture, or vice versa. But yeah, we got lucky in that sense that these kids really do eat just about anything we put in front of them.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So I have a question. What is your top selling fudge, so that I could tell everyone to go on your website and go buy some?
Well, everybody has their particular favorites, and we have strawberry and mint flavors. We've got the American Pick-Me-Up, but of course, good old-fashioned fallback is our triple threat chocolate fudge, and of course the chocolate walnut.
That sounds good.
So while we're on the topic of your fudge company, so it seems to be going really well. Where do you go from here? What's your next like we call it a BHAG, big hairy audacious goal? What's y'all's next real big goal for the company?
Well, we're gonna begin expanding some of our products. Hopefully in the next year we'll have some more things to put on the shelf, so to speak, and to let the cat out of the bag. I don't know if you noticed the tactical apron I've been wearing in my videos.
Yes, I did notice that. I did notice that.
Is that a gift?
Pretty soon, everybody, all of your viewers are going to be able to get their hands on one too.
Yes.
Very nice.
That is so
cool. Turn your kitchen into a combat kitchen.
And so are all your products, including this future tactical kitchen belt, is that all at eodconfections.com?
EOD confections, or no, eodfudge.com.
eodfudge.com.
eodfudge.com, and then the social media handles like TikTok are EOD confections.
Love that.
So are there any questions that you want to ask us?
Well, I know you're all about the fresh produce and fresh farm-raised stuff, and I wanted to tell you that when my time in Italy, that's one of the best lessons I learned, besides, of course, learning a bit of the lingo and all that culture and all that, was that Italian food was all about fresh simplicity. Do what get it, buy it that day from the farmer's market, and don't mess with it. The fewest amount of ingredients necessary to make the perfect dish, and it's done wonders for my cooking. I definitely appreciate it. So it's right. Straight from the farm definitely tastes better.
I wish everyone in the United States would do that, to take the time to actually go to a farm or go to a farm stand and take that time to get those fresh ingredients and come home and cook for their families. And unfortunately, a lot of people are people are working 2 jobs sometimes. They don't have that time to really sit down and cook a meal. But you know what, if it's the most simple ingredients there, it shouldn't be too hard to cook it. So get into a CSA, get into a farm stand.
Yep. I
Our communities are just set up a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I was cooking on my live last night, and everyone was like, well, what are you putting in there? I'm like, avocado oil and salt. That's what we're putting in there.
Salt and pepper.
So I'm curious, what's your favorite part about being on TikTok? I mean, you're kind of TikTok famous. So what's your favorite part about being on TikTok?
Well, my favorite thing about being on TikTok is that we get to share some of the fun stuff we do right in our own home, but also we're making these awesome connections like you and so many other creators on TikTok get to do these neat combination things, partnerships with other creators. It's just a fun way to be creative and express yourself and to make new friends. It's fantastic.
It is. It really is.
I am like, I know Salty and Danny know this. I am like heavily stuck on bread TikTok right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you and your wife are really stuck on? Any specific creator or any category that you and your wife are really stuck on right now?
Well, unfortunately, I don't get the full benefit of TikTok, but that's probably a question better asked for my wife, because she does. We have made quite a few connections on TikTok, but it's more of a collaborative thing, and I don't really get to benefit as much from viewing their.
Is your wife sitting there? Is she there? Yeah. There she is. Look at that. That was
Fred TikTok. Yes.
That was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
I said, is your wife there? And then she appeared.
She appeared.
She appeared. That was perfect.
You guys on my
she was watching.
We can pretend that was just a miracle.
Is it a midnight snack for me, sweetheart?
Unplug that so I can hear.
Yeah, it's on.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh. Sorry.
Hello, it's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet. I feel like we're already friends. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, once you do a duet with someone on TikTok, you're instant friends. You know,
pretty much.
We haven't done any duets yet, but I was on your live last night, and I could see you were real tired. You were real tired. But
you want to know why? Because I took 3 melatonin to pass out, and I was
That'll do it.
Let's go to bed. Like it's time.
So
sometimes moms have to do that, especially when they have identical twins running around
as toddlers.
You just gotta sleep sometimes, guys.
So when Tyler said bread TikTok, I was like, Aaron made bread.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Today? Did you make this today?
Yeah, that's a sourdough rye, because one of our next our upcoming videos is going to be the best Reuben, how to put it together. So why not make a whole loaf of rye bread just for a Reuben?
Yeah.
So this has been an incredible interview with your superhero of a husband.
Yes, definitely.
Now it's your turn.
Oh,
yeah.
No, we're curious. What TikTok are y'all stuck on right now? Any specific categories or?
Well, I'm personally really into fitness and exercise, so I'm stuck on some fitness TikTok. I really like bread TikTok. I really like food TikTok, hence the exercise TikTok. So
they have to balance each other.
But I'm also really into the mental health TikTok too. There's a lot of really great advocates for mental health out there, and people who are doing amazing things and just spreading awareness and spreading education. Like there's so much education on TikTok. So anyway, I'm here for all of it, but those are my top favorites. So
I absolutely love that there are actually therapists with licenses that are on TikTok, and you can go on their live and they will give you therapy for free. And I think that's amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing. The connections that we make on here are incredible.
So Mr. Hale, if anyone came to you and said, I want to be a chef, or I want to be a home cook, or I want to get in the kitchen, but I don't know where to start, what would be your one piece of advice for anyone wanting to start in the kitchen?
Can you hear him?
Nope.
It's because he unplugged. I'll repeat it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So, if somebody came to you and said like they want to become a chef, but they don't really know where to start, like what direction would you point them in?
Well, of course, I would follow those who have already going where I want to go. So if somebody wants to be a chef, go work for a chef. Go to one of your favorite restaurants and apply and try to learn. And if you want to take it a step further, then find the education. Go to great culinary schools all over the country, all over the world. You chase the fire. What fires you up? So you go after it.
So I have a comment from Facebook, and Aaliyah wants to know, who does he like to listen to while he cooks?
Who do you like to listen to while you cook?
I like to listen to a lot of stuff. Big into real estate investing, so there's a lot of podcasts for real estate investing. I'm also
really into TikTok home flipping. Like,
Me too. Me too.
Sorry.
Yeah, and lots of audiobooks. I love to listen to anything from just about any genre. I like to mix it up from fiction to like self-help or productivity type books. So I'm always listening to things because I've got this cochlear implant. I'm Bluetooth connected right to my phone. So I could be listening to a podcast. Nobody's the wiser. I'm just cooking away. And
it's really convenient when the babies are crying and he's like, I don't know what's going on.
How convenient. How convenient that can be.
Wow.
I feel the same way. I listen to all different kinds of things. I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to Dave Ramsey. I listen to a whole bunch of podcasts, but music wise, I'm also like that. I listen to literally everything, like so many different things.
I think
honestly, I just jump in on your guys' lives and I use your guys' lives as a podcast.
I know. Salty's always putting us in his pocket. He's like, guys, I have chores to do. So I'm not actually going to look at you, but I'm
here. I'm listening.
I'm here.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the worst. I'll be fueling up the tractor, so I'll pop on everybody's live for 3 minutes, and then I'll hop out, and then an hour again later, I'll pop in on everybody's live.
Yeah, that's how I am. But I think we live in such an incredible time that we have so much information and so much knowledge of people that have come before us, like navigating hardship and challenges in any area of life. And then you're able to learn from them, like in the palm of our hands. It's right here. So we live in such an incredible time.
We really do, because all you have to do is type in whatever you're interested in and then follow that hashtag.
Right.
So I'll go in there and I'll just start like watching those videos in that hashtag, and then all of a sudden I'm in a new area of TikTok that I never knew I could be in.
Yep.
Gary V is one of those big ones.
Oh, yeah, I love Gary V.
You love Gary V? I started listening to Gary V 2 years ago, and he is one of the reasons why I'm here.
He's why I got on TikTok.
He's why I'm here. Yeah, I love Gary.
Yeah,
guys, if you don't follow Gary, definitely do that.
So, I know we've been working on a collaboration, and I've been the worst and procrastinating.
You're not the worst. You're a busy entrepreneur. I'm like, don't worry
But
about
I was leading that into cooking with fresh food. Do y'all have a local either farmers market or local farmer that y'all try to get from? Or
so we live in the panhandle of Florida, so we're literally on an island, like this little strip of beach in the Gulf of Mexico, and our soil is sand here. We do have friends who grow in raised beds, and so we try to like trade fresh produce. Like I have some basil did really well for me this year, but otherwise, I mean, anyway, we just try to find local produce, but we do have just north of us. Tell him about the EOD tech who has the cattle farm, and we got the cow from him.
Oh, that was fantastic. Yeah, I read an article about the early months of the COVID-19 thing, how restaurants and hotels and cruise ships had all locked their doors. So the Florida farmers were really struggling because their products were getting turned back. So there was a list of how you could buy direct from the farmer. And I looked at what was, I was reading through this database of what was nearby. And it turns out there's a cattle guy just a town over. And we bought our first side of beef. And when I talked to this guy, as it turns out, he's a former bomb tech too.
Yeah.
And he just went became a rancher.
Yeah. So we'll never buy beef anywhere else now.
Oh, it gives me goosebumps.
That's awesome.
That makes my heart so happy.
Yeah, we have a deep freezer full. He came in, like, we got to pick, you guys, if you've never bought I'm talking not to you guys, but like to anybody listening, if you've never bought a cow on your own, like, I got to choose the leanness of my beef. I got to choose how I want it packaged. I got to choose like 1 pound, like ground beef in 1 pound or 2 pounds or 5 pounds. Like, you get to choose how it's packaged. And then he delivered it to our house. Like, and we got to meet him, and he like awesome. Raises these cattle, and he educated us on his practices and how he like treats them and what he feeds them. And so anyway, it was a really, really great educational experience for us, but also for our kids. And now we eat it like weekly, you know? So
it's a whole experience.
That's what it's all about, y'all. That's why I sell directly to consumers.
Yes.
Totally. And tomorrow I'm going to turn one of the chuck roasts into some barbacoa on the smoker.
Yeah.
Put it in a tortilla.
Yeah.
Make sure you make it
but yeah, that's what makes me really happy about supporting local and shopping local. And it's just so important, and it's so much more of a better experience all around. So I encourage you to look it up online, like wherever you live, just like look it up, see what's around you, and see who. We had no idea this guy even had a cattle farm until we looked it up. So even though we live in beach, like there are people near us that are doing things on farms, so it's worth checking into.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Midnight Farmers podcast. Mission accomplished. This is the last episode. That's all we
needed. Just like play this on repeat.
So well, I love it.
We'll just play that. We'll play that 2-minute clip on repeat.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. Support your local farmer.
The other thing though that I want to say about it is like our local farmers market, I'm really disappointed in. I think it also depends on where you live. Like when I lived in California, we were surrounded by farmers. I lived in Northern California, and I could walk to a farmer's market every single day of the week, and they were true farmers at this farmer's market. The farmer's market is like a craft fair here for like old people to sell their like jelly and like arts and crafts. And like I've even watched some of the people at our farmer's market go to Publix grocery store, buy stuff, and then come and sell it for more at our farmer's market. And they want to charge you like $8 for a tomato. So it's a bunch of BS at our farmer's market. Danny, so we don't support them, but we do try to find local like CSAs and then like farmers that are growing different stuff just around town, and then we'll just go buy.
It's that cool co-op market in Pensacola.
Yeah,
it's kind of a direct.
Yeah, so just like when we can, and we'll support.
So I was going to say,
that's what.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just going to say that a lot of like what you guys are talking about is that it is really more than just food. It's the experience. It's the relationship that you have with your farmer, because you're not just investing in what they do, but it's working together, because you're not just a consumer, you're part of that growing and developing process that it's not just between you and him, but it's your whole community altogether. And it's really exciting to hear and to see other people that understand this aspect of it, because this is how, you know, the movement's going to continue to grow, is that communities will develop the way that it should have.
Yeah.
And one thing that we did, because you guys kept talking about raw milk and I never had it. And I kept saying, I have to find a dairy farmer that has raw milk. And I did find a dairy farmer, which we knew they were there. We go there for ice cream and stuff. But now we are fully supporting them. We won't buy our milk in the grocery store. We are taking that ride up to the farm. We're going and seeing the cows get milked. And it's a whole experience. And we love it. It's just so much better than going to the grocery store. It's a whole experience.
Let me ask you something. Have you heard about, or do you grow something called honey nut squash?
Yeah.
Because I just
You
read
grow
about
it,
this.
Tyler?
Yeah, so we've grown it in the past.
Okay, he's grown it in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just learned about this.
I just read about it. I'd like to get my hands on it and give it a try.
I tell you what, we will grow some next spring and mail it to you.
Okay, I love that.
So I have a comment from, sorry guys. I have a comment from Facebook from Aaliyah. She said, we should start a new website to find local farmers. Here's the thing, guys. I have on my website, I'm supporting all the TikTokers that I'm meeting. If you have your website and you want it on our page, where we can just shop all of our TikTok friends, it's www.victorygardensrevival.com, but also on our Midnight Farmers podcast page, there is a link that says CSA on it. You're going to want to go in there, type in your zip code, type in your area, and you're going to find all of the local farms that can offer a CSA. CSA, Tyler, explain what a CSA is.
So CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. Okay, oftentimes it's taken on in multiple different aspects, from volunteering on the farm, community growing spaces, all this. But the most popular take on it is a share of the harvest, often taking the form of a subscription box. Usually goes out once a week, and it's in my opinion, it's the easiest, right, and most cost-effective way for you to support your local farmer. And it's a really fun way to try new things. Our CSA, for example, we put products in there that some people would normally buy. The CSA this week, Paul can tell you about it. It had kohlrabi in it, which most people have never had. What else?
I never had that.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Tarragon, right? Mexican mint marigold, lemongrass. So we also have normal, I don't want to say normal stuff, but more well-known stuff too, like okra and moringa. Yeah, we've put moringa leaf in it before. So it's a way to get your regular fruit, vegetables, meat, eggs, honey, flowers, what have you, but also a way to experience new things and help support that farmer.
Yeah.
You would be surprised at how many people don't understand that there are white carrots, there are purple carrots, there are all different colors of the rainbow carrots, and it's not just the orange kind. And in the CSA, you might find those kind of things that you've never really seen in the grocery store. It's definitely worth doing.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Hale, any parting words for our listeners? Bit of advice, encouragement, anybody?
Do you have any parting words for the listeners, or?
Well, I just want to thank you for having us on. This has been a lot of fun, and thanks to all of all of your followers, your viewers, and our followers for just making this an incredible experience. We love doing it, and we love the feedback. So thank you.
Well,
awesome. Thanks for being here.
Rockstar on this show right now.
Like I was gonna say, I'm always humbled by anyone anyone I come in contact with. But the last 45 minutes, I found myself more humbled than I think I ever have been in my entire life.
Yes.
So I greatly thank you for that. I can't wait to send you food. I'm going to put it on my list. I'm going to do it tomorrow after our market. I'm going to mail you a box so we can do our collaboration. It will be an absolute honor, and thanks for agreeing to do this. Really.
Oh my gosh, of course. This has been so great. He said he's going to mail you a box of produce. We're going to mail you guys some chocolates. So send us all we have Tyler's, but
I don't have a PO box yet because I'm broke.
I mean, as long as you're cool with me personally knowing your home address, we can ship it to your home address.
You can send me hers too. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, there you go.
No, and that's it.
But anyway, chocolates for everyone, and thanks for having us on.
Thank you. You guys are such an inspiration, and thank you for everything that you guys do.
Well, let us know how we can continue to support you guys and share everything that you put out, because the work you're doing is really important, and it's something that our country really needs to know more about and be more educated on. So let us know how we can support in the future.
Thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for saying that.
And
yeah,
guys, Danny's really awesome at she's awesome, period, but she's really, really awesome at doing all of like the Midnight Farmers podcast TikTok page. And so you'll find any really, really good clips, she'll clip them and she'll post and tag you on all that. It's really great.
Cool.
I'm trying, but hey guys, we have to get that account to 1,000 so that we can go live from that account. So when
there we go.
When that Midnight Farmers podcast TikTok page goes to 1,000, we can go live. And when we do these podcasts, we can stream them live. So right now I'm doing it from my Victory Gardens Revival page, but it literally has me only having 5 people in my lives at a time. So if we can get that other page to explode, that would be amazing.
Well,
what are the stats on it right now, Danny?
Yeah, where are we at?
I've 150 maybe.
Okay, well we'll put something out. If you can send me something, just like I'll text you my phone number.
Okay.
And then if you send me something, we can post it on our TikTok and get some of our followers to go over there and like just support you guys. And then
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys ever want to do like a little live cooking show with like fresh food.
Yes.
Why don't, when you send the fresh food, we do another live?
Yes.
There we go.
We need to have some fun experimenting with this produce, this box of goodies you're sending.
I'll send you 2 helpings, one for the live and one for a video. How about that?
Well, and there's this in the project too, because Tyler's planning on doing a cookbook.
Yeah.
Yes, and so's Aaron.
That's so great.
We also want to do a cookbook. My husband likes to cook.
There we go.
We all go on tour together.
Yes, a cookbook tour.
We've been saying that.
For real though, we've talked about doing a Midnight Farmers tour across the country.
A documentary.
Yeah, where we all take, close the gate on the farms for 3 weeks, and we come see y'all. We just go all across the country and see everyone, and we'll stop and cook with y'all, right? We'll head this place to pick apples. We'll head this place to work cows.
Yes, and Alex from Moon Farm Organics is going to be our documentary crew because he's got skills. He's actually, guys, we didn't know this on the first podcast when we talked about that. He actually went to school for documentary.
Yeah, he's like a legit,
that's awesome.
Like legit
he's credentialed and everything.
We had no idea when we said it on the first show because that was our big, hairy, audacious goal, our BHAG.
BHAG.
I couldn't believe it. My mind is blown. So maybe it will happen.
Cool. This is
so good, guys. Thank y'all so much. I can't thank y'all enough for coming on. I know my comments have been going like crazy, so it was greatly appreciated. Really enjoyed it.
Hey, anytime.
Oh, thanks for the invite. We had a little fun. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
Let us know what your website is again.
EODfudge.com.
EOD, guys, go and buy some Christmas fudge. I know you guys are already swamped in orders, and we're about to send more.
We're ready for them. We're ready.
That's awesome.
All right. So we're going to end the podcast. We're going to leave with, like I said in the first podcast, we're going to leave with a look for the helpers. Look for the helpers, guys. We're going to put Mr. Rogers here, and we're going to say, look for the helpers because they are out there. I know times are tough in the world right now, but there are lots of people out here that want to do this and want to help you guys learn and succeed in life. So look for the helpers. And we will be on again next Friday with another veterans episode, because we just got so many guests that said yes and they wanted to come on, and that was surprising for us. So we are going to do this again next Friday, and then we're going to
next Friday we have a special surprise guest
that I'm not allowed to know about.
That you don't know yet. Yeah, Farmer Froberg's special guest.
It's not that special though. It's really not that special. It's just fun teasing Danny.
I'm pumping it up. I think it's gonna be special.
I think
you guys are sneaky.
It'll be fun.
Sneaky. I feel like it's gonna be fun, just for the fact that I'm not allowed to know. All right. So we will see you guys next Friday, and then on Black Friday we are going to have Noah from Shiloh Farms, and possibly I just heard this, cattle guy.
Cool.
Yes.
We might have
who is also another veteran. So we're going to have veterans like three weeks in a row.
Veterans Month, guys.
Yep.
You guys deserve it. You all deserve it.
Danny, just to clarify, where can everyone go to find the recorded version after we close here?
The recorded version is going to be on the Midnight Farmers Facebook page. It's also in the Victory Gardens Revival Facebook group. There's 22,000 people in that group. So if you need to learn how to garden and do all of these things, definitely get in my group. Everyone is really helpful there. And we are also on Spotify podcast, and hopefully in other places soon enough, as soon as I figure out all the technicalities.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Well, that's a wrap.
All right.
All right.
Have a
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See ya.